And Danielle Upshaw joins us once again in the kitchen with indanielleshead.com. So make sure you check that out. Speaking of In Danielle's Head, this is a recipe that you basically created on your own.
I did. I'm sure I've had stuff like this before, but I was just in the kitchen, had a bunch of random ingredients, and I was like, well, let me make this work. And it was really good, and I've just made it ever since. It's actually, I think, my husband's favorite dish.
Is it? I wish I had that skill that could just put things together, but I was telling you that this is all stuff that pretty much I've got in my kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what makes it nice.
Yep. It's really convenient.
You don't have to go out and get anything new. You've got everything here.
And it's a good way to, like, kind of change things up a little bit.
Yeah, so what are we doing?
All right, well, first we're making a roux. For those that don't know, basically it's a fat and then a flour, and it makes it thick.
Okay, I didn't know it could be any fat. I thought it always had to be butter.
Yeah, you can use, a lot of people use like different things, like you can use leftover like
bacon
stuff
grease?
from where you, you can use that makes it really, really salty though, so you may not want to do that.
All right, okay.
But you want a decent amount in here, and my skillet's a little bit hot. But like, let's say if you're making gravy and you're making a roux, you would want this to brown first.
The butter to brown first?
Yes, before you put in the flour, because then that's how you get the dark color in your gravy.
See, that makes sense. Okay.
And as that's melting, I'm just gonna take this spoon, and basically, you just want to sprinkle it in, the flour in, until it's about the right consistency. You want it to kind of resemble almost like toothpaste, if that makes any sense.
Do you have to worry about the flour clumping at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Not if you have enough butter. If it starts clumping, then you probably didn't have enough butter or whatever fat you were going to be
Man, the
using.
smell of butter in a skillet is something else, isn't it? It smells so good.
It is amazing. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take a chicken stock, and all of this you can get at Food City really cheap. It's awesome.
Good.
But I just get a normal chicken broth. Sometimes you want to use low sodium because then you get to control how much salt is in it, and otherwise it's kind of just reliable on them how much salt is in your dish.
I like how you did that. You just put a slit in the can and...
Yeah. I was ready.
I learned something new every day. Very good.
So you just want to put about the whole can in there.
Okay.
And you can change these proportions if, you know, you're making it for more or less people.
You know, I find if I keep chicken broth and beef broth in the kitchen, it comes in so handy for everything you're doing.
It really does.
And I didn't know that until I grew up, and then I figured that one out. But it does. It comes in great, really handy.
The key to this recipe is really the spices, and that really is what makes it really good.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to just stir this like this. You want to just kind of rub the bottom of the pan, and it helps
get it smooth.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
All right.
But my favorite, what really makes this, is the paprika. And if you can find smoked paprika, then that's really awesome.
Okay.
But we're just going to take some paprika, and we're just going to put that in there.
Ooh.
And it's really kind of subtle, so you want to put a decent amount in there.
It's a beautiful color.
My rule is when it turns kind of like a pink color, then you have enough. And then we just put in some garlic. Don't do the garlic salt, because that'll make this way too salty.
Okay. Now the paprika, you know, most commonly you put it on deviled eggs, and that's pretty much what most Americans do, and that's it.
Yeah, well, that's because they haven't tasted it.
Okay.
It's
what kind
amazing.
of flavor is it?
It's kind of like a chili powder.
Okay.
But it's a lot softer.
Okay.
And it's not as spicy. It's not really
smell
spicy
the
at all.
garlic. It's great.
All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're basically making an Alfredo sauce, and then we're adding in the tomato sauce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in the cream, and you always wanna do that last, because if it gets too hot, it'll start curdling on you.
Okay. I was laughing at Alfredo sauce because you're speaking my language. You make anything with Alfredo sauce, I'm there.
Anything.
It's delicious.
So just stir that in.
And you're not gonna skimp on that either.
No, no. It's what makes it good.
Yes.
And then always some cheese.
I like that you use
mozzarella.
Yeah, and you use regular, you know, I know people can, and a lot of people have health reasons why they want to use low fat. But a lot of times I find that if you use just the regular full fat, you eat a lot less because you're full.
Exactly.
And then you can have this for the next day even.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
My secret to this dish is sour cream. You just put in a couple spoonfuls of sour cream, and it really just adds a little bit of a kick, and it makes it really, really good.
Okay. And we have this on like low?
I have it on medium.
Okay.
because you don't want it to get too hot. I'm just gonna spoon in some sour cream. And sometimes you have to let this get pretty hot before it completely stirs in.
Okay, we're gonna end on the high note of sour cream for this segment. And when we come back, we're gonna take a look at how she puts it all together, and you can impress your own family with this. Thanks, Danielle.
The preceding portion of Daytime was sponsored by...
Danielle, this sauce has been, the smell on it is just driving me crazy.
Isn't it? What's
That's
amazing
good.
is just take breadsticks and just like dump them in there.
Now
So
you're speaking my
good.
language. What have you got? What have you got Ann doing over there?
I have her cutting up some mild Italian sausage, and I'm having her cut it kind of slanted so then it looks prettier. But
Right.
it also
I
gives
hope
you
it
a little
does.
bit bigger slices too. So what we're gonna do to make this the creamy tomato sauce that
Right.
it is we're just gonna take some of this traditional, just traditional spaghetti sauce
And our
from
good friends at Food City
yes.
Food Club brand, yeah.
And we're just gonna open it and just pour it in until,
And everything you've used in this restaurant can be found at Food City.
yes, definitely.
Or in your kitchen, because you've already shopped and
Exactly.
gotten it.
It's exactly right.
That's what I love.
So how much of this are you putting in? About half the jar?
Yeah, typically about half, and it makes a decent amount of sauce, but I honestly always try to have extra, and then you can put it in like little
Well, you never know when
ramekins or
somebody's gonna
something
stop by
dip
for
it.
dinner.
Exactly. And you can actually freeze this.
At Danielle's house especially, people
Yeah.
stop by for dinner.
We need to stop by Danielle's
We
house
do.
for dinner.
We do. Okay.
Looks really good.
So
And
we got
now
the
she's
sausage
got
going.
The sausage,
I'm
so
not
we're
the
just
best
gonna
at that,
pour
but-
that in.
So you just put it right in with the sauce.
Yes.
Wow. Thank
So
you.
it's even going to add even more flavor to that sauce.
Yes, it really, really will. And so
And-
now, I don't know if you want to stir this while
Yes.
I work on the pasta
All right.
over here.
When
But
you-
our pasta, I think, is pretty much done. And make sure you always put a couple shakes or whatever of salt
Right.
into your pasta water. It's really good to season it first, and it really helps bring out all of that flavor.
Now, I've had people tell me to put a little oil in there, and some people tell me not to put
I
oil
know.
in there.
I
Do you put
say-
oil or no?
I don't, because think about it. When you put anything in with oil that's a different like liquid, it
Right.
separates it.
Right.
true.
And you want your pasta to be able to have it stick to the sauce.
Okay.
And if you, you know, don't put the oil on there, then it'll
Right.
be able to do that a little bit easier.
Okay.
So then normally, well, I would put this through a
I'll hold this for
strainer,
you.
but to save a little time, we won't do that. I'll just go ahead and spoon this on here.
Okay.
Do you know what my Italian friends will do too? Is they'll take some of the sauce that they're making, drain the pasta, and then pour a little, like a couple tablespoons of the sauce in the pasta and
Yes.
stir it up, and that keeps it really good too.
It really does. And normally, like I said, I would strain this, put it back in here, and mix the whole thing together.
Together,
Right.
okay.
Yes.
There
And
you
one
go.
other thing that can make this really good, if you want to just jazz it up a little bit, is cut up some pepperoni and put it in there.
Ooh.
And it is so good. It is phenomenal.
That sounds good.
Just gonna.
Look how, look, you, uh-oh. Here,
Hey, it's not my kitchen if there's not a mess. That's
Yeah,
what I have
exactly.
to say.
here, we'll add a little more pasta in.
There we go. I don't know if we have a spoon.
That looks delicious.
It is really good.
And you can actually see the cheese that you put in there.
I know.
The
Yes,
strings
it
of
is
cheese
so
What
on
do we
there.
call that? Cheesy goodness.
That's cheesy goodness right there. That's exactly right.
Wow.
And
that
then
looks
you can always
fantastic.
sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on here.
Okay.
And this goes great with garlic bread. All you have to do is like mix it up with butter and stick it in the oven. And it is so yummy, but just a little bit of Parmesan.
A little parm. There you go.
Do you find that is this a dish that tastes better even the next day, or is it not one of those?
I think it is. It's,
Okay.
especially if you let it sit in with the noodles.
Yes.
It is so
Flavors it through.
good. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
All right.
You don't have to tell us twice, do you?
It might be a little hot.
All right, got one.
That's my husband's favorite.
Oh my goodness.
That is really good.
It's the sour cream.
It almost has a little smokiness to it.
Yeah, that's the paprika.
Oh.
And it's really good if you have smoked paprika, because then it almost
Well, there's some
gets a little
smokiness in the
hot.
sausage as well.
Yes,
so
true.
that
That
lends,
really
that lends
helps.
to
That's
it.
true.